If we can turn to two themes now, which is the delivery of new infrastructure, and then tying that to some of the latest technologies that are available to make the infrastructure more efficient. Just a few thoughts on new infrastructure delivery to base ourselves in this discussion. Infrastructure delivery on the whole has been proven to be incredibly challenging. There are very few projects in infrastructure in cities where there are new, larger scale projects that are delivered on time and on budget. And so if you were to look at the number of projects that happen in cities, say for example, if you look at a power plant project or a bridge, we find that about 60% of all infrastructure projects are over budget or over time, and of that 60%, half of that is by more than 50%, either in time or cost. And this leads to a very difficult starting point for some of these projects in terms of capital productivity, actually the cost to make sure that you can get these projects done. The other thing that sometimes happens is that when you think of the benefits that flow from these large infrastructure projects, some of them are not realized in the way that you would have initially predicted, or indeed were part of the whole design. And there are some reasons for that. And I think one thing that cities are starting to realize, as well as some of the engineers and designers who are working in the cities, is you need to look to complement some of your infrastructure investments with other technologies and smarter technologies. So understanding, for example, in the story of putting in a power plant that the city may run, understanding how that plays into the power grid, and having smart grid technology that gives you information on demand at different times of the day, so that you can start to monitor your operating costs and then scale effectively the plant and the demand, can lead to very important savings, and not only in terms of cost but in terms of sustainability on the asset that has been put in place. When you think of road and road usage, some of the technologies now that are in place of understanding the traffic flow patterns at different times of the day give cities the chance to understand real data, real time, different profiles through the day, and be able to manage traffic or make decisions at different times of the day. For example, some of the technology deployed in London, which has been looked in New York around congestion taxing, is a great example where the technology is in place to understand and use number plate readers to actually allow you to either create a revenue stream and also manage the demand, so you actually reduce overall congestion. And it's not only to make sure people don't enter this area, that actually is not the purpose. It's as much to use that to shift demand onto other modes of transportation. And this dynamic is very important. And you see in some cities like Sao Paulo, where still there's a resistance to the use of mass transit, actually using some of these sort of smart technologies for cities to get the usage patterns shifted is something that the city needs to consider, and they're obviously not alone in that. So there are a lot of smart technologies. There is a lot of talk around smart cities and how cities can use data and data capturing techniques to be able to make different decisions and allow them to make different use of supply and demand related to the infrastructure. This has the benefit to feed back into the system when you start to think about how you look at maintenance and then ongoing investment, capital investment, because you may realise that you can afford to make more modest capital investments if you're able to use some of these smart technologies to reduce the demand on some of this infrastructure. Water technologies and metering is obviously another one. Understanding the leakage relating to water usage is very important. Leads to different prioritisation of maintenance and understanding where in the day the demand actually sits is another, I think, example that is being used more and more. This will only increase as technologies are being developed. There are obviously some high-profile pilots. Some of the electricity technologies that are being piloted in some of the large cities will have broad application, and I think this making sure that cities understand the power that comes through that is very important.